All right, guys, we are back.
Oh, yeah, I told you to be back. Here we are.
We are back with another yield max on the CONY payout update since that just went ex-dividend a couple days ago on
We
the
got our payment
7th.
on Friday.
We got our payment on Friday. Today we're recording this on during the Super Bowl because we don't really care.
Super Bowls are stupid.
We don't really care.
I can't make money off Super Bowls.
And you could always just watch the highlight reel on the commercials. In case you just tuning in for this first episode. First payment was $11.73. Second payment was $730. Super low. It was like the lowest one they've ever had in the inception since history. And then the one we just got was $917, which is nicer than $730, but still not above $1,000. But total, we've made $2,820 in dividends so far for 3 months. We started with $15,000.
So the objective of this is to pay the $15,000 off with just the dividends, taking the cash out at the end when we get paid every month.
Yeah.
So we're not selling any shares, and at the end of this, when we pay the $15,000 off, we're going to have 876 shares of CONY to actually then just collect dividend. That's like it's basically
So
free.
once this is paid back, you're going to still continue to make money because, like, look at this here. Even though our value of this went from $15,000 and now it's $11,000, and as soon as it's 900 and whatever,
it's going to be that 1055 right there.
Yep. That's exactly what it's going to be once that money gets pulled out, because I have that in transition right now.
So this is why whenever I'm talking about the UMAXs, I don't know if I ever like articulate it correctly, but if you take the cash and you apply it to other stuff, your value is going to be lower than most likely is going to be lower than what you originally had, just because that's the nature of these.
That's the way they work.
They do the decay thing of the NAV. So we're only going to have $10,500 worth of CONY, but we've already collected almost $3,000 in dividends. So we're still down $1,500-ish, $1,600 around there. But
that's because we got in at $17.12
because we had to get in so we could get the dividend for December.
Yep, right before that December dividend, because we had the idea and then we were like, oh, and it does kind of suck when you're rushed to get in, especially when the thing fell off a cliff. But because it fell down so much, we doubled down with extra money that we had sitting around for property taxes and some other stuff, because I was talking
other
about
expenses like credit cards that she put a course on a credit card, and then we had the property taxes come and due. So like we're gonna.
So I was like, screw it, let's throw the money into Yield Max and then just use it to pay that off, because you're basically then going to get the course for free and get the property tax basically paid off without taking money out of your thing.
Going to that count.
So if we go into what that paid out, that has paid out $733 so far for 2 payments. I got it right before the 10th, and we actually were able to get into that at the share price of $13.83. So that one is a lot closer to.
So we have 4,700 in this one, and we started with 54.
I think it was actually
53.
Hold on, it might have been real close to 50,000. Yeah, 54, 53.93.
About 54, yeah. So that one we have 54.
So that one's a lot closer because that buy-in
we're
price.
down 700, but we've collected 700 in dividends. So that's actually about even.
About nice. So we kind of got screwed on the first part just because the price value dropped off a cliff. But that is what happens with these. And as long as you stick to the course.
A quick way that you can do this is you see right down here it says cost per share is $13.83. You'll click on CONY. Once we got this, and what day did we buy that? 1/7. Okay.
Close enough.
So this one we have $13.83 as our cost per share price. Okay, go into CONY, and then we'll pull up the dividends for January and February.
So go down the whole way?
Yeah.
Where's my thingy? There it is.
So
show more?
You see the January dividend right there. Oh, you can't really see that. Hit show more, yeah.
You would like the show more.
So you see the January dividend was 83.3 cents, and the February dividend was 1.05. So if you go to 13.83 and you subtract 105, that puts you at 12.78.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it, because I love calculators, because I'm super nerd.
Because we're not reinvesting this. This is different than if you drip stuff. So 13.83 is what we bought, and then we're
So this is how you figure out if you're break even. You take the purchase cost per share, and then you subtract the dividend payouts.
105 and 83.
Minus. I don't know how I obviously am not having a non-blind day.
Minus
104.68. Okay.
So that's what our current cost per share is after you take out the dividends. It's
$11.94.
Okay, go back to the front page. Go to positions. Remember $11.94, so it's actually currently at $12.05. So we're actually up 11 cents in this after you factor in the dividend. That's how you if you want to do total returns. You basically get your cost per share, your entry price, and then you subtract your dividends if you're collecting them in cash.
Yeah, and if you did this for the other one, we are down a helen.
Yeah, we're down a lot.
17.12 minus 0.833. 9 minus, I know, 13391 minus 1.04. 68. So this one, 13.9.
We still have a 13.90 and it's trading at 12.06.
So like $2 ish.
We're still down to like $1.84 in this one.
Yeah.
But that'll actually be that will I guarantee you by the end of this we'll be up a lot. I guarantee you.
But yeah, by the end of this experimente,
we'll be up a lot just because that's how it works. With you see that all the dividends and it's been.
Because look where this was back when.
It started at $20. So like when it first came out, people were super excited. You see over here at the far left, people were super excited. It shot all the way up to 28. And that was when crypto was banging back when the Bitcoin halving and everything. And then it's kind of gradually went down.
Yeah, crypto wintered.
Then it went down here and then when Trump got elected, you see it popped up there.
Yep.
And then once we do like the
consolidation piece,
once we do like the Bitcoin reserve and like all the crypto activity that's going to happen in the next few months, that'll probably bounce back up to about the 20 to 22 range up there, and then we'll be up and it won't matter. But then like I just think people need to understand how to calculate when using spreadsheets, because whenever you actually have to factor in the income, you're subtracting that from your share price.
Yeah, and I actually didn't understand that till he was explaining that, because I was like, wow, that number is really just going down. But I understand the fact that we are keeping the same amount of shares, and even if these share payouts, earnings per share, continue to stay the same, and if you look at the history of this thing into the dividend payouts,
yeah, like these last two dividends become weak sauce.
They've been weak sauce. But even if they stay weak sauce, you still have 800 and however many shares of this thing. So you're still getting.
So if you look back here when the Bitcoin had, which was like 4 and 5.
Look at that.
You see like
$2.79 per share.
Were, like,
that's crazy.
When it was super popular. It's going to get. I don't think it'll get back up to the $2.79. I think $2.02, like between 180 and 202, will be like the high point of the dividends here in the upcoming months.
But still,
if it's a $2, that's still a $1,700 payment that we're taking out. Mm-hmm. So this is a prime way to actually just use lines of credit, or if you feeling real ballsy, a HELOC.
And speaking of HELOC, where the hell did that paper go?
We've been kicking that back and forth. She's like, well, I could just take out a HELOC on the house. I'm like, whoa, let's try this. Let's finish this first experiment first, huh?
That's me being high risk, all in. Go big or go home.
Let's finish this first experiment, see what happens, and if it works out fine, then I'm all for using the HELOC.
Yeah, but basically this is like printing money. It's quite fun.
It is a way to like.
Quite fun, especially when you're not actually the one investing this 15 G's. You just take it from the freaking bank, and then you just pay the bank some interest.
But you have to be able to see beyond like the numbers. Like I see what's going on down here at like month 23, 24, 25.
Yes. Once this thing is paid off, you don't have to worry about the interest. You don't have to worry about paying anything back to the thing. And then you potentially, even at this low end, could be having an asset that pays you $730, $900 a month. Like that is the whole point of this. The whole point of this.
Every month.
Until
it goes to zero, if it does.
Like that's more than some people's paychecks.
I'm just saying, like this,
from taking money from the bank.
It's kind of ingenious, and I'm pretty proud of myself for coming across it. Thinking of it, because I think outside the box a lot. And
well, he was talking about it, and then I was just like, you know what? I was like, I actually have a long line of credit chilling somewhere. I go, let's pull the trigger. I was like, let's put our money where our mouth is. But I love doing this math, where if you just total up the amount of interest that you pay on this thing to get that like 17,000 whatever ended up with the payments payback at $15 an hour, I probably should change that to like something different, huh? What's the average? Freaking $18 an hour is a low minimum wage?
I don't know, 18.
We'll do 18 hours at that. 18. So you'd have to work 971 hours at 8 hours a day. That's 121 days. And at 5 days a week, that's 24.3 weeks of your life.
It's a half a year to pay back your loan.
To have that money to work, to hustle for that.
If you look over here, though, we have 387 is what we've paid in interest so far.
Yeah, 387.30.
So we've paid 2,500 of the loan back already in 3 months. So like 2,500 of 15,000 has already been paid back. So you extrapolate that out, that would be,
and again,
5,000 would be 6 months, and 10,000 would be. So this is going to be about 18 months at this current pace.
And again, if you've ever had a loan, house loan, car loan, whatever, they are interest heavy up front. So as soon as you start knocking the principal down, like your interest basically becomes negligible by the end of this. So
I wanted this to be 12 months, but then they fucked me. So
they screwed us. But we could have some very big ones. We don't know. I just left the 104
I'm pretty
in
sure
here.
it's going to be 15 to 18 months instead of 12 months I was hoping for. So it's going to be like 3 to 6 months longer than I had thought, I had proposed.
Yeah. So if that does happen, though, are you going to keep the shares?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep the shares and take the cash and put it in other stuff in the portfolio.
That's what I was wondering. I was going to say, if crypto's still booming, we're just going to let this thing ride. If not, and there's a better yield max to get into, we possibly could liquidate this and then buy shares in a different one. But
once crypto's over, I probably will just liquidate it all into YMAX.
Yeah.
YMAX pays you weekly, and you're getting about 80 to $1 per share per month.
But if all your risk is off the table, I don't know, you could let this ride too. So that'll just be, we won't know for the future because we change our mind all the time based on the stuff that comes out. So it just is what it is.
But this is very exciting. This is very,
really
very exciting
cool.
because if this works out like I think it's going to work out, this is a way that people can actually retire early, or they could, I don't know, if you have to pay for a college, if you have to pay for kids' college or pay for a wedding or pay for a home improvement project.
If I was saving up for like a wedding or something else, like this is 100% where I'd put in. And that's why I did that extra experiment with the $2,000 for that course that I bought. Because I was like, I'm just going to stick it on my credit card that just so happens to have 0% APR for like 15 months. So I'm not even having to pay interest on that. I'm just like extending those payments out, and then I'm using that to pay that off. And
so like everything that we've talked about, like prior to this, like the first part of our podcast was all a bunch of no tickers, kind of boring shit, but like that was all setting the table for execution like this. Like you have to know your budget, and you have to know like your credit cards, what your interest is, if you have no interest. These
are all tools in this like bigger strategy. If you get your game plan and you like set out the whole map of whatever, you can seriously make tons of money. Stop working.
Much.
Yeah, stop working with. You can use other people's money. Stop working.
She has to pay attention to Schwab like maybe 15 minutes a month to collect that.
Yeah, that's about it.
Collected.
And I just transfer the money back over, and then I just pay it right out of the thing, and that's literally all I do. It's pretty sweet. And if I didn't have that loan, it would just be straight cash, and I'd be like, juicy. Let's go. Go do some random.
So we're going to keep updating this every month. Is like show you how this gradually has been paid down and paid down and paid down and paid down. But like once it's paid off, dude, boners for everybody.
Boing. But we're doing this because there's so much misunderstanding about what yield max, like how to actually profit from yield max. So hopefully we can.
Well, that's the biggest thing that I've said before is you don't actually reinvest your yield max until you've paid off your initial. I said it over and over and over and over. And the reason that you do that is because you want to get that initial risk off the table as soon as possible, so that then you're kind of. I hate to use the word house money, but you're kind of playing with house money at that point because it's not your money. Your money's been paid back into your checking account or your brokerage account
or your loan,
wherever you pulled it from. So then you're literally just using interest, I guess it's compound, to pay for other stuff.
Yep. So
that's the beauty of yield maxes, and people are actually investing in them incorrectly. I'll say that, like all the YouTube videos I see and the Twitter feeds I see and stuff like that, is people are actually reinvesting their money back into their yield max. And what's happening is, you saw the CONY chart, it keeps going down and down and down and down and down. YMAX did the same thing. NVIDIA's starting to do the same thing. Amazon started at 20 and now they're like 1870 or 1750 or something like that.
That's the NAV decline.
So they're going down and down and down. So you knowing that the NAV price is going to go down going into it, you have to get your money out as soon as possible to take all the risk off the table. Yep. So you take your cash. You just take it and run, like Steve Miller used to sing.
Take the money and run.
Yeah.
Take the money and run. I actually know that one.
And so once you get that done, then you can make the decision of, well, do I want to keep the money in YMAX or CONY, or do I want to actually sell my shares and put that money into something else? That's up to you at that point. I'm pretty sure we'll keep doing the yield max stuff until it shits the bed.
Yeah, until they shit the bed or something better comes along.
Because at that point, it'll be free money and we'll be collecting cash. If you think about, like, if we ride CONY the whole way down to zero, it's going to take 2, 3, 4 years. We've been collecting cash every month at 876 shares. So we're going to have so much money that we didn't have.
Yep, we wouldn't have had otherwise.
By using money that wasn't ours.
Yeah, that's the best part. So we did the one with the loan, and we did the other one where I had the cash and I just repurposed it, got strategic with it, and basically getting the stuff for free.
What she did with the 2,400 is, rather than just pay the property taxes and pay the course off right away, she put it on an interest-free credit card. And then she put it in the yield max. So we're basically paying for that stuff. So that's not free money at that point. That's our money being repurposed. It's our money,
but once we get our money back, we got the property tax for free and I got the course for free.
And
That's how it
and we'll
pans
have
out.
all these shares of
Yep.
CONY to do whatever we want down the road.
Yep.
So like, that's what I'm saying. Like that one's probably going to be easier to see
And-
illustration of quicker than the 15,000.
And if this yield max seems too risky for you, Y max is extremely, extremely. I think the safest one of all of them
they do
because
pay
it's
a
the
weekly.
index.
I like the weekly.
They do the weekly, but they do get paid less. And if you don't actually like yield max,
Like January's yield max dividend was 90 cents, and like the CONY one was 83.
oh wow! So I stand corrected there. Go Y max. Which one actually was up? Because that's an index of all the other ones.
I don't know. Like
They must have had some good
They
performance
have the
then.
Planeteer one. They have a new one comes out like every.
it could totally have been Planeteer. The other thing, if you do not like that Yieldmax has the synthetic calls situation where they don't actually hold the underlying stock, you can check out our latest podcast episode. I will link it over yonder.
Ah! But it's Rex.
It's talking about Rex shares, which T-Rex back here. Well, they're not even T-Rex, but they basically have
do cover calls.
they have covered calls on shares they actually hold.
They hold.
And they got one for AI,
If you're
one for
familiar
crypto.
with JEPQ and JEPI or QYLD, they do the exact same thing that those all do, but I think they're better ran, they have a pretty consistent dividend.
So that'll take you longer to pay back, but it is less risky. So if you're interested in that, check out that
It's
podcast
like 30 to
episode.
40. So 30% is the FEPI's 30%, and the AIPI is 40%, around there, 36%.
Which is still freaking good. But again, lower risk.
So that would take you 3 years on the FEPI to pay back your initial principal, and it would take you 5 years on the FEPI to pay back your principal. It's up to you how you want to do
Yep,
it.
totally up to you. But we're giving you options because there's different things available, and we're doing them all.
I have been. Like, I'm just like, YOLO, bitch. And what happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
And then we have something to talk about in December when I have a whoopsie.
Yeah, if something goes bad, totally a
Whoopsie
thing.
daisy.
All right, guys, we will check you on the next update.
The next update will be probably the first week of March Madness.